Getting the right stiffness to your fins is kind of like finding the right pillow. Too stiff and you wake up cranky, too soft and you wonder why you even bothered. The ideal stiffness depends on your body type, the gear you're using, and the type of diving you're doing. What works for one diver might not be the right solution for another diver. Imagine strapping a canoe paddle to your feet. Super stiff, right? It's gonna push a lot of water, but it's gonna take a ton of effort, and it's not gonna get any of that react phase where the fin is working for you. There's no snap. With an overly stiff fin, most people will compensate by bending their knees and ankles and getting into the dreaded bicycle kick, which is exactly what it sounds like. You're pedaling away like you're in a spin class, and just like that stationary bike, you're gonna be using a lot of effort and not getting anywhere. Maintaining good finning technique in an overly stiff fin is difficult, if not impossible. On the flip side, if you have overly soft fins, they're not gonna get you where you need to go. Imagine instead of that canoe paddle, you've got 2 long pieces of paper strapped to your feet. It might feel nice and relaxed, but you're not gonna move anywhere. So that's it, right? Just get fins with medium stiffness? If only it were that easy. There are a few more components that we need to think about that factor into this equation, the first of which is your body type.
Divers with long legs will lean towards a softer fin. This is because with their longer legs, the amplitude of their kick is going to be bigger than the amplitude of a shorter diver at the same angle. Divers with longer legs are going to have more torque acting on their hip flexors because of the size of their legs.
For short and stocky divers, you've got more compact power and you might be able to get away with using a stiffer fin. In addition to your body type, you want to think about the type of diving you're doing and the gear you're going to be bringing with you.
For me, I use stiffer blades if I'm spearfishing with a lot of gear or lobster diving in a 5mm suit with weights and the whole shebang. Also, if I'm expecting to experience a lot of current, I'll probably go towards a stiffer set just to get that propulsion.
My more medium fins I'll use for line diving out here in California. I've still got a 5mm suit on and some weight, but I'm focusing on being relaxed as I'm diving down and up to increase my breath hold. I'll also use these medium fins if I'm spearfishing somewhere warmer where I'm wearing less weight. My softest fins I'll use in tropical climates or more likely the pool. With the pool, you have even less gear on, and most importantly, there's no buoyancy that you have to push through. All you're doing is gliding horizontally. Keep in mind, the pool does not care how fancy or expensive your fins are, and they can tear them up.
The angle of the fin is also an important factor to consider. With a shallow angle like this, it's sort of like that canoe paddle, just moving forward and back. With a steeper angle like this, it's gonna slice through the water and creates that downward push just from its construction. It's also going to be more streamlined during free fall and easier to swim at the surface. Fin's surface area is also something to consider. Longer and wider blades are going to push more water and it's going to be more work on your legs. But they are less maneuverable, and if you're traveling with them, they could be harder to pack. If I'm looking at the same fin that comes in a long version and a short version, the long version I would get in a softer stiffness, and the shorter version I would get in a higher stiffness. A lot of times people who are spearfishing or kicking around in the shallows on the rocks will get a shorter blade, just less likely for it to bump into things, get scratched or break. Lastly, foot pockets are a factor. All fins are comprised of a blade and a foot pocket combination. Some come in one piece, while the majority come in 2 that are assembled together. For foot pockets, some foot pockets have long, thick rails like this one that will provide additional stiffness as that fin is flexing through the water, while other foot pockets have little to no rail, and that will allow the blade to fully flex through the length of it. One is not necessarily better than the other. You just have to know that these foot pockets can make a difference. Make sure you get the right combination of foot pocket and blade, and know that foot pockets have a big impact on how that blade will respond in the water. Personally, I like to use the shorter railed foot pockets. That way the full blade really shines. However, there are some blades that we tested that made very little difference whether they were in a longer foot pocket like this or not. So it depends on how the blade was built and what the layup of the fiberglass or carbon fiber is in that blade. These longer rails can help protect the sides of the fins from getting banged around or dinged up. Almost all fins do come with fin rails, so they will have some protection from that, but these are pretty beefy in case you're worried about that.
Your fins should feel like a natural extension of your body, not like you strapped on some sort of medieval torture device. If you feel like you're fighting your fins, they're probably too stiff. If you feel like you're pedaling your way to nowhere, they're probably too soft, so you gotta find that sweet spot. Now that you have an idea of what you're looking for and what type of feel you wanna get from your fins, we still have a problem. All manufacturers will have fins in soft, medium, and hard stiffness, but it's not an apples to apples comparison. This is the big thing that we wanted to get to the bottom to of this series. We took a bunch of different fins from some of the top manufacturers, put them through the ringer, and we've got some honest, hands-on feedback for you to make the right decision. So stick around, because in our next videos, we're breaking down the best fins on the market. What's worth it, what's overhyped, what we trust when we hit the water, and what will be the best option for you and the type of diving you do. You won't want to miss it. You won't want to miss it. And that sounded lame. Just watch the videos.